Good morning. Welcome for Just for Today. I am Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living in Columbia, Maryland. Don't know where you are, but it's a snowy day here. Nothing compared to what I'm used to in Northern California. Beautiful. The stillness is quite remarkable piece of nature that it gives us with. So if you're unfamiliar with what we do on Just for Today, it's a place where I just pick an eclectic reading from many different spiritual-based sources. This morning's reading actually comes from Guiding Principles of the Day. It's a publication by the Narcotics Anonymous World Service Organization. And so I read whatever it is and then offer what comes alive in me as I read it. And then I open it up if anybody is joining to share your thoughts, your perspectives, your questions. It's really just a time of sharing and conversation and discussion, whichever word we want to tag onto it. So let me flip over to that. Not in my regular office space because I made a few adjustments while I'm dealing with taking our little fur children in and out in the snow. As they're old men. They require a bit more care than usual. Okay, here we go. A spiritual principle a day, January 6th, vigilance and the second tradition. And it begins with a quote from the book Guiding Principles, Tradition 2. We need to keep an eye on our passion, lest it become self-righteousness. And we keep an eye on our disagreements, lest we begin to harbor ill will toward our fellows. Vigilance is an inside job. So here's the reading for today. The practice of vigilance can be like holding vigil, keeping space and silence to honor something of value, such as the spiritual principles that bring us freedom and peace of mind. In our personal recovery, vigilance often means paying close attention to our feelings, thoughts, and actions so we can catch ourselves before slipping into old behaviors or patterns. Our basic text reminds us that, quote, we are each other's eyes and ears, end quote. Our sponsor and other NA members can hold vigil with us by reflecting our values to us when we forget them, or pointing out our boneheaded actions when we fail to see them. We need one another's vigilance. Our vigilance has a place in a service too. We strive always to adhere to the guidance of our traditions, working to maintain unity, anonymity, focus on our primary purpose, and so forth. Many of us have gone through a phase or phases in our service to NA when we felt as though the traditions needed enforcers and we were just the right candidates. One member shared, I had been calling the local helpline and pretending to be a using addict to see if I could catch the volunteers making a mistake. Then my sponsor asked me which list of spiritual principles I found deception in. I felt pretty embarrassed. End quote. Our traditions guide us to do our best for NA. We each have a responsibility to remain vigilant and speak our conscience. Sometimes Those who disagree may treat us like vigilantes, people who take matters into their own hands. Other times, we might feel like vigilantes, like NA won't survive if we don't save it. Tradition 2 reminds us to trust the expression of a higher power in our group conscience. NA is a we thing, not a me thing. Rather than enforcing our traditions or trying to catch our fellow members slipping, we speak our conscience clearly and directly and leave the results up to a power greater than ourselves. And it ends with this affirmation: I can be vigilant without becoming a vigilante. My perspectives and interpretations are one of many. I will give my fellow members something we all deserve: room to make mistakes and room to learn and grow. So I see that somebody has joined while I was reading that. Welcome. I can't tell exactly who you are, so if you want to share that in the chat, that would be great. And what came to you in that reading? If you're moved to share any of that. And you may not be. I get that. And they left. So just a footnote here. You can be on without actually participating. You don't have to go away, but you can certainly choose to, and that's okay too. What comes up for me is that reading can apply to any community, whether it's a spiritual community or a classroom. You know, that whole idea of vigilance as holding high watch, holding space for something important, something of value, and making room for everybody in the group, whatever the group is, making space. It's a vigilance. Even as I'm speaking, it's coming to me that, this idea of vigilance in the context of this reading is really a way to practice inclusion, to allow ourselves to truly make space, to truly listen to our inner guidance system, whether we call it a higher power, whether we call it God. I think matters way less than that we are in touch with something greater than ourselves, our human selves, that keeps us connected to the whole. And we make space for people and the messiness of evolution, the messiness of recovery. Recovery can be anything, right? We can be recovering from something, recovering from a breakup, recovering from a physical illness, recovering from a job change. And my personal experience is I recover from things until I move into the practice of recovering me. And then I'm no longer recovering from, but I'm actually recovering the essence of me, recovering the part of me that actually wasn't lost, but was hidden from myself. Welcome to whoever just joined, and goodbye. So that's really all I have. And I don't see anyone else that is joining to interact this morning. So I am going to set us up for a brief period of meditation. Let me pull up my timer here. And we will do a brief meditation, and then I will close us out with an opening spiritual mind treatment, also known as affirmative prayer. And for those of you that might be new to spiritual mind treatment, it's simply a 5-step process to help us build consistency and clarity. It's the first step is recognizing that there's only one power and one presence, recognizing the infinite. The second step is recognizing that I'm created out of it and can never be connected from it, that all life is created out of it and can't be disconnected from it. The third step is affirming what is true about our spiritual nature and therefore about us. The fourth step is gratitude, and the fifth step is release. And so that's what a spiritual mind treatment is. So now I'm going to shift us over to a period of meditation. So with this breath, I go deeper within, accessing a higher vibration of consciousness, recognizing, recognizing, knowing again, remembering that there is only one infinite, ever-present allness, one creation that is the source and substance of all experience. One energy that is the source and substance of all life. This one is substance, action, doer, and form, all within the one. No separate place, no separate power, expressing an exquisitely individualized, one-of-a-kind, purposeful, intentional, never to be repeated expressions of itself, giving of itself, expressing as all of life, as all form, as all that surrounds form, the invisible being made visible, the visible truly the image and likeness of the divine. And so the infinite must be diverse in itself. It is unlimited, expressing in multiplicity, yet changeless. Nothing to change into. Expression is not change. So I recognize that it expresses itself in the diversity of creation. I recognize that I am an expression of this one. By whatever name we call it, it is all there is. And so all of life is an expression of this one. Every grain of sand, every person, place, and thing, every animal, vegetable, mineral, gas, atmosphere, cloud, star, cosmos, all of it. The infinite expressing as. And so I must be connected with every expression of life and every expression of life connected with me. No separation anywhere, because there is only here and there is only now. And so I speak my word, which is the infinite speaking in, through, and as me, speaking itself into being. I am simply the point of expression, a point of expression. And so I speak my word, the desire of the divine's heart to know itself as harmony, as peace, as grace, as love, as life, as beauty, to know all of itself in, through, and as its creation. And so I speak my word, claiming and affirming that the perfection within humanity is coming to the awareness of every human expression, that the perfection within the earth is coming to awareness of all who inhabit this beautiful, amazing planet. That the harmonious operation of one is awakening all of life to its spiritual magnificence. That there is a shift in valuing from the physical to the spiritual, knowing that as the spiritual is wholly and completely recognized and valued, the physical will necessarily be an outcome of that perfection. That there is a release of the lie operating in the mentality, in the consciousness, in the socialization of humanity, that external validates the internal. That the paradigm is flipped, and that all of life experiences the perfection of their being. That harmony is the operation of life. Harmony of humanity with nature, nature with humanity. Harmony of the visible with the invisible with the visible. Harmony where there is no need to qualify or quantify any idea or power over another. That the recognition of true one eliminates the whole idea of power over. Because in one, there is no thing to have power over. And even as I speak these words, I feel a deep calm, a deep peace, a resonance of recognition at the center of my being. And I am grateful. Grateful that the word spoken is the word fulfilled. That the activity of life, the doer of life, the law of cause and effect, simply acts upon every belief, every thought, acts upon the movement of consciousness, of substance, of source. And law acts upon it from and with as infinite intelligence, objective intelligence that simply says yes and makes it so. And so knowing that it's already handled and handled perfectly, I let go of the outcome. I let go of any idea of controlling the how or the when or the where. And I simply live into this desire in the heart of creation, expressing in me for peace, for that harmonious operation of one, for an experience of all life equally valued, equally precious. I just open to experience what already is. And I trust the operation of law has already made it so. So I release all of my doubts, all of my fears, all of my thought processes that in truth interfere by negating the very thing I seek. So I let go and I celebrate. I celebrate by seeing the infinite, the divine love, life everywhere, in everyone, at every time. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.